Let's go back. The early years, the days of Jesus movement, playing for a love offering.
I still do that.
Okay. And the early days when artists were selling their records from their vans or the trunks of their cars. The younger Andrae Crouch, what were you setting out to accomplish 30 some odd years ago?
Well, actually, when we talk about the 30, we're talking about before I even made a record. I was still busy in church work. I always liked church work, and I was 9 years old when I got saved, and 11 years old when I began to do music. God gave me the gift of music then, but not knowing what was even ahead, because I didn't really have any persons that I was following after. I mean, of course, I heard of Mahalia Jackson as a kid, and but I didn't know of any groups. Neither did I follow any groups, for that matter, to go hear them play. Or I didn't know the whole life of a musician. So I mean, I've heard of groups like when I was growing up. Caravans and the Ward Singers and the Davis Sisters, groups like that. But I didn't know what their lifestyle was until one day there was a group that came from LA called the Davis Sisters that totally would blow me away, and I was just a kid. But these voices were so incredible. They had a lady in there that her voice was a high voice, but it sounded like a saxophone to me, and then she would have this growl that she could just put on the audience and over a microphone, and people would just go crazy, and they were really anointed. But when I looked out in the front, they were traveling in this car, so that didn't seem very appealing to me, because I heard they were all the way from Philadelphia, and I remember asking my father, I said, all those people were in that one car, and they came all the way from Philadelphia. He said, looks like it to me. And they had their records in the trunk. And but this was, I guess, a pioneer group. But the rest of the people, whenever I would see them, I remember I saw the Ward Singers at Disneyland. And they looked very glamorous, they glitter dresses. But I really didn't have anybody that I even thought that I could follow, because I never thought God had that in store for me. I just was a piano player. I mean, God gave me the gift to play the piano, but I never knew that I was going to be writing songs and this was going to be a career. I was just having fun doing what I was doing, like a lot of church kids today.
Get right, church, and let's go home. Get right, church, and let's go home. Get right, church. Get right, church. Get right, church, and let's go home. Get right, church, and let's go home. Get right, church, and let's go home.
So you really had no expectations?
No expectations, yeah. When the first Grammy Award came around, or when I was first nominated, I never even knew about the Grammy Awards. Somebody told me that I had a single out, and I had my first record with Light Records, called Take This Message Everywhere. And then I went to United Artists, and then I had a 5-year contract. I did a record called Christian People. Tremaine Hawkins was on it, and then got nominated for a soul gospel category. I never heard of it, never been to the Grammys, never knew what all of this meant. And it was just a nomination, and then it was explained to me and all this, and because we came from the Valley, which is about 30 miles from LA, so we were kind of sheltered isolated from the big city of LA, because I wasn't even driving a car then when I wrote my first song.
So you were pretty green even after the first album.
Oh yeah.
As far as the industry was concerned.
It really was. When I wrote The Blood, I was 14 years old. So I didn't even know what the song meant.
Oh, really?
Didn't even know. It just came. Didn't know what it meant. I wasn't even driving a car. I was totally agreeing to what was happening.
I mean, it's like a hymn standard now.
It was really a prophetic message that, it's words, so it's a prophetic message that lives on forever, that the blood will never lose its power.
The blood that Jesus shed for me way back on Calvary, the blood that gives me strength from day to day. It will never lose its power.
Many songs came back, and so I those early days were exciting, and adventurous. So everything was new. Just like I don't know what God has in store for me now. So it's that same sort of excitement. Who am I to watch? Who am I to look at to say, God's going to take you there? Where? There. So I write a song. He brought me this so far. He brought me this far. So He's going to take me all the way. How far is all the way? I don't know. But I just know I'm going to get there.
He brought me this far. He brought me this far, yes, yes. God brought me this far. He brought me this far, and He's gonna take me, yes, all the way. I believe that He will. Said He's gonna take me